Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Today in Titletown Packers Podcast. I'm Bron, and you can follow me on Instagram at Lambeau Leapers. And I'm joined by my co-host Mason. How are you, Mace?
I'm great, man. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Packer Posts.
All right, and we have a very special guest for this episode, none other than Packers' second-round draft pick, running back AJ Dillon. How's it going, AJ? Thanks for coming on.
It's going well. Thank you for having me.
All right, first question right off the bat. Obviously, this offseason has been super crazy. Nothing like we've ever really seen before. Just what have you yourself been doing to stay into football shape?
Yeah. So it's definitely been challenging times for everybody, but I got out here to Green Bay and I was able to go work out at Synergy Sports over there with my guy Scotty, and so I've been working out over there Monday through Friday about I'd say about 5 weeks now. So just full body workouts, running, conditioning, lifting, upper body, lower body, and then obviously working some routes and stuff like that. So I've been blessed to have that opportunity to have a open and working gym.
So let's talk about, obviously, your draft day experience. What was that like? Who were you with? And what was it like to hear your name called?
Yeah. So first, I was in California. I'm from Connecticut, but I was doing my pre-draft training out in California, and because of the whole pandemic and everything, I didn't get a chance to go home. But my family and my mom, who I'm very close with, were on FaceTime on my laptop while the whole thing was going on. And I had a couple of my friends out there who had already been out there before the whole pandemic started, and they just kind of stayed with me. And it was unbelievable, and especially to be drafted to an organization like the Packers. It was really surreal, and I really couldn't put it into words for a while. But it's definitely a dream come true, and I couldn't be more happy and excited.
Yeah, so I mean, when you got that phone call, what was that like? Who did you get a chance to speak with?
To be honest, it was such a blur, and I feel like I talked to everybody real quick, and then after that, I got on the phone and talked to the local media and everything. I picked a number, and it was crazy. They're asking me my address and everything, and it was wild. I can't even remember. Like I remember like bits and pieces. It was a blur. I was kind of just caught up in the emotion, to be honest. But it was an unbelievable experience.
Yeah, I mean, everything's happening so fast at that point. Once you get that phone call, like I can't even imagine what's running through your mind when you know you're going to a team like Green Bay and getting picked in that second round. That must have been so exciting.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Was Green Bay showing you a lot of interest, like in the pre-draft process at all?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to them a decent amount. I met with them at the combine during formal interviews, um, and I tried to, whatever I had to do, I just kept going out there every day and just kind of put my, I don't know, put my tape out there and just consistently working, and I feel like I'm in good shape now and keep working to help out the team.
Well, was the combine the first time you talked to Green Bay, or did they talk to you prior to that?
No, that was the first time I got a chance to talk to him.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so speaking of the combine, that was an event that you really dominated. I mean, you pretty much outclassed everyone during drills, but the main thing was your measurements that were off the charts. There was literally no one with your level of strength and speed combinations. So, what was that whole experience like for you?
It was a big proving ground for me. I had always known what my abilities were, and I feel like my coaching staff and my teammates and things back at BC knew who I was and what I was about. But obviously BC and the ACC, we didn't get necessarily the national attention that some schools did. And we're a smaller school, and I felt like it was a big opportunity for me to kind of show what I was about and kind of silence the doubters. Coming into it, there's a lot of talk about 250 or 247 or whatever the case is looks really, really big, and people trying to make me only a power back. But I went out there, ran 4.53. Um, that's certainly not slow, especially at 250 pounds. I showed my athleticism with the vert and the broad jump. I finished first in both of those, and I really want to go out there and show like I'm a lot more than just a big power back. I can do it all. And another question was, could I catch? And I went out there and I didn't drop one pass. I caught every ball. I ran every route. And so I mean, I feel like I just kind of showed teams, I would say, that I'm ready and able to do it all. And so that's what I'm looking to bring to the Packers. Whatever they need me to do, whether that's pass protect, run the ball, catch the ball, play special teams. I'm a team guy, family guy, and so however I can help the team win, I'm looking forward to it.
Did you get any interesting questions from other teams that were you interviewed with? A lot of people talk about how they get crazy questions from coaches and members of other organizations. So, did you have any weird instances during your interviews with other teams?
Yeah. To be honest, no, not really. I feel like I'm just a pretty even keel guy. I'm pretty. I haven't really done anything to have a lot of crazy questions. I had one team ask me about like if I had a collection or like I was something like that. I forget how it exactly went, but somehow my sock collection came up. I got about 130 pairs of socks from anything from like SpongeBob and any cartoon you can think of to video games, food, guacamole recipes to animals, sloths, sharks. I got it all. So that's something I like. I have on the little side there.
Yeah, that's cool. Uh,
Yeah.
so, how much do you think the combine kind of raised your value amongst teams and kind of put you on a pedestal in terms of just like physicality that kind of rose you on teams boards in a lot of people's eyes?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like you said, it kind of just showed that I was a guy who was obviously capable of doing it all, and I had the blend of size and speed, which I knew I had. But I feel like that's a place where you can talk as much as you want, but then I had the ability to go out there and do it, and I was blessed to perform well, and so it kind of just shows like numbers don't lie, and so I went out there, I did it. There was no water weight added to my weight. I was like right after we did the weight, it was 247. Right after that, I went over did body fat, and I was 7.8. So it's not. I'm not this like big, like chunky, only can run third and two running back. So I'm looking to just keep getting better and grow and learn the playbook and help out however I can.
So back in March, Packers Instagram kind of dug up a picture that you posted with Jordan Love, who obviously got drafted in the first round by the Packers. What is your guys' relationship? What was it before, and how did it help you? Finding out that both of you guys got drafted by the Packers.
Yeah. So Jordan Love and Kamal Martin from Minnesota, we are all in the same agency, and we all worked out together during the pre-draft process. So we were together for like 3-4 months. And Jordan, especially him playing quarterback, me playing running back, we've thrown and caught together. Well, he threw, I caught. But he's a good friend of mine. We were texting today, just about like seeing how he's doing, when he'd be able to get out here, and we established a friendship, and I'm so excited to be going on this journey with him, and especially him playing quarterback, me playing running back, being able to establish that relationship already, regardless of where we are on depth charts or anything like that. We can definitely build off each other, so that'll be really good and really fun.
No, for sure. What is your thoughts on just the situation Jordan Love got put in? Because obviously that was probably the biggest thing of the draft. The Packers going with a quarterback in the first round. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak on anything as far as what anybody's intentions or anything like that were, but all I know is that Jordan is a really capable guy. He's a leader for sure, and he's somebody that I can definitely respect. And so I know as well, just like me, he's a guy. Like, I got two outstanding running backs in front of me, and there's a bunch of other guys in that running back room that are awesome. I've had the chance to meet over Zoom, but I feel like we both love the game. We're both students of the game, and so I feel like what a better role model or mentor for Jordan to be behind than Aaron Rodgers, and to kind of just take, obviously, I mean, at least for me, I mean, I would assume he'd just take as much and be as much of a sponge as he could from somebody like that, and that's what I look to intend. That's what I intend to do in the running back room. Try to figure out how these guys are being so successful, and how I can implement that in my game.
Right, like you said, obviously the Packers' current starting quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, one of the best to ever do it. So how excited are you to get on the field and play with a guy of that caliber?
I'm tremendously excited. I've always been an Aaron Rodgers fan, and it's crazy now to be like on the same team. And so, like I used to, yeah, but I've always been a really big fan of him. And so, I feel like I'm studying even extra hard on the protections and stuff to like make sure that I make a good first impression. So, it's really cool. Maybe a little nerve wracking, the first time I see him, I'm trying to keep my composure, understand we're all like on the same team now and things like that. But honestly, a blessing to just be around guys like that and be around like such a historic venue like Lambeau Field and stuff like that. So I mean, the list goes on. You got amazing players all over the roster, of course, and so to just be at this level now and be able to kind of learn and implement as much as I can in my game is a blessing for sure.
So you being from the East Coast, does that mean you're a or you were a Patriots fan growing up?
To be honest, I was not a Patriots fan. I was before now. Now I'm a diehard Packers fan, but before that, I was a Titans fan. Uh, and my stepdad, he was a Titans fan for as long as I was playing football, and so we always just kind of were the outliers on the East Coast that like the Titans. But yeah.
So the main thing that a lot of people talk about is just how dominant you were at Boston College and your physical traits that you showed not only there but at the combine as well, weighing 247 pounds, but having it all in pure muscle and still being able to run like a guy half your size. So you often get compared to Tennessee's Derrick Henry. Get compared to Tennessee's Derrick Henry. So what are your thoughts on that comparison?
Yeah. Well, I'd say first of all, it's always a big honor being compared to somebody who's been successful at this level. Somebody whose highlight tape I've watched a million times, of course. Has had tremendous success in college and in the NFL. But personally, as awesome of a compliment as it is, I don't ever like to compare myself to anybody. I take bits and pieces from people's game. Like I said, I'm a student of the game. I'm trying to figure out what I can take from theirs and put it into mine. But I'm AJ Dillon. I'm not trying to be Derrick Henry 2.0 or whoever the case 2.0 or what anything like that. I'm just trying to be me and the best me I can be. But definitely we have a lot of similarities, I would say. But I'm a competitor when it comes to the field, and I'm just trying to be the best when I get out there.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So, how much have you gotten to speak with Aaron Rodgers, and how has the communication with him and the rest of the team been like in these virtual meetings?
I personally haven't had the chance to speak to him yet, but I've talked to most of the rookies and things like that, and I feel like we're all coming along well. It seems like a really, really good group of guys who love football, have all the right morals and things like that. And the running back room is who I've talked to the most, obviously, and those guys have welcomed me and the other rookies with open arms, obviously. And we're all just trying to learn, and it's difficult times for everybody. Obviously, I'm pretty sure we would have been in mini camp right now, but we're all just rolling with the punches and kind of trying to be our best selves right now.
So what have you just said you talked to the running back room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you talked to like Aaron Jones or Jamal Williams or Tyler
Yeah.
Urban at all?
Yeah, I've talked to all of them. Yeah.
Okay. What have they told you anything, or have they taught you anything so far?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Aaron and Jamal most, I would say, from the vets, and they just kind of, I just kind of asked them like how, how they kind of adjusted or what it was like to. I'm just like I ask a lot of questions. I'm like that. Like I would say I'm probably like an annoying little brother right now. And I'm just like, hey, like, did it take you a long time to get this? Like, hey, like, what should like I be studying? Hey, like, but they've been really nice to me, and they've kind of shown me the ropes as much as you can through like a Zoom meeting or a text message. But like I said, they've been welcoming as well as everybody else I've met in the team, and everybody I've met in Green Bay. To be honest, nobody's really mean out here. It's a big difference from the city life.
Good to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah, Aaron Jones actually mentioned during his media availability last week that you were texting him, asking him about the playbook and stuff. So, I mean, that's obviously cool to have two guys like that in Jamal and Aaron Jones that have done it so well in their first 3 years with Green Bay that you can kind of just ask them questions about not only the playbook but just different things about being in the league. So that's got to be valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, guys who have been really successful and done it the right way, and like you said, it's definitely valuable and definitely something I don't take lightly because they don't have to help me out.
Yeah, for sure. And so, what have the conversations been like with the offensive coaches about how they plan to use you this season? Not just the offensive coaches, but on special teams as well. Have you talked to special teams coaches about being used in that aspect?
Yeah, I can't really comment on roles or what anybody has in store. I feel like it's way too early to tell. Maybe if we were actually in the building and stuff, I'd have a better idea. But that's not really up to me. I'm like I said, I love football, and so they need me to run down on special teams. If they need me to pass protect, block, run the ball, whatever it is, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And that's what the Packers are getting out of me. Somebody who loves football, somebody who loves to work, and I'm always looking to be the best at whatever it is I'm doing, whether it's special teams, whether it's running back. I'm looking to be the best at my craft and to the best of my ability. So I can't really tell you what they're looking at, like as far as strategically or anything like that. But I'm happy to be out here, and I'm willing and able to do whatever they need me to do.
Yeah, so I mean, we talked about it. You put up ridiculous numbers on the ground at Boston College, uh, but you talked about it as well. You weren't really asked to catch the ball out of the backfield there, and that's something that's a really huge part of the Matt LaFleur offense. So, number one, do you think that was just a product of the system that you were in at Boston College? And number two, how confident are you to be able to get in there and show the team that you can do that? Like you did at the combine, but also doing it on the practice field and in training camp and kind of translating it to the NFL game and in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, the first question, BC, we are definitely a run heavy team. And that's another thing I would say. People, I guess, you look at numbers, like you said, I put up a lot of numbers there running the ball, but I did a lot of that against stacked boxes. Not many people did that. I run against a stacked box, I think like 70% of the time or some crazy amount of times this year and throughout my career at BC. I forget, it's somewhere on Twitter, but, you know, with like 8, 9 guys in the box, knowing we're going to run the ball, still averaging 5 yards to carry. And that's not to toot my own horn or anything like that. It's just, with an
That's just the fact.
that's just
That's
that's
just
just
the
a
fact.
fact. And you got Hall of Famer and Aaron Rodgers. You got amazing receivers. You got other talented running backs, a great offensive line. And I'm just talking about the offense. That you can't. The 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 Packers are not a team like you can just only solely focus on the run. And so when I look at the opportunity to run the ball in this offense, it's completely different than anything I was really accustomed to. And as far as passing, like I was saying, we were a run heavy team, but when I did catch the ball, I think I averaged like 15 yards to carry. 15 yards to catch. So we didn't do it often, but when my number was called, I was able to do it. And like I don't doubt my catching ability by any means. I would say less than lack of ability, more of lack of opportunity, just because I haven't done certain things. But like you said, I went to the combine, I caught every ball, and I don't like to limit myself. I wouldn't put myself in a box as somebody who can only be in there for run plays. So that's something I've been working on in combine prep, something I've been working on now, and I'm gonna continue to work on. And even when I'm on even when we get to camp or whatever, I'm still gonna continue to work on that because, like you said, it's a big part of the Packers, our offense. And like I said, I want to be able and willing to do anything whenever my jersey number's called.
How excited are you to play at Lambeau? Just that it's just a different type of element in December. I've been there and for playoff games and it gets cold, snowy. I just want to know, like, have you ever played in conditions like that, like below freezing, snowing, and just how excited are you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Connecticut, so I played in the snow, I played in hail, I played in below freezing,
Okay.
played on I played on fields where it was like an ice rink, and I was running in place like Scooby Doo.
Okay.
I've done it all with no heated benches, no big coats. So I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of like being at home, I would say. But no, I mean, especially like you said, playing at Lambeau. I've never been to a game in December, but there's so much history behind it, behind the organizations, and the fans are second to none. And I'm excited to get in front of them. Excited to hopefully and eventually do my first Lambeau Leap. All
Right.
these things. So I'm fired up, and I'm excited. I mean, the first day after I got drafted, I actually watched the history of the Lambeau Leap, and then I watched the failed Lambeau Leaps.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's in my mind. I gotta get the first one. I gotta time it up. I gotta get the trajectory. I gotta get it all firing on all cylinders. But I'm excited, man, and it's really I'm kind of like a broken record. I'm just blessed, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to get out there and be able to help out the team and represent the team for sure.
Yeah, with that broad jump and that vertical jump you tested out, I'm sure you'll be fine on the Lambeau Leap.
Yeah.
So you just talked about it, how just Lambeau is a great place to play. It's the most historic franchise in sports, and the weather there is the key factor for the Packers in December. How
Mm.
well do you think your body type, your physical attributes suit that style of play in that weather and with the team that we have?
Yeah, that's definitely something. I don't really pay too much attention to like outside noise or Twitter or all those comments and things like that. But I mean, that is something I've seen a lot. I honestly didn't even think of it at first, but similar to BC, I mean, when you're playing in the cold, obviously it gets a lot harder, and business decisions start to get made, whether you're tackling or you're running somebody over, or you're blocking, or you're trying to defeat a block. And I just feel like bigger guys, and I'm used to the cold, so I feel like I won't have a hard time. But people on defense definitely, it's definitely a lot harder to run through a gap and try to stick somebody who's a lot bigger than it is when it's hot out. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like I can help out in that aspect. But you know, rain, hail, hot weather, doesn't matter. I'm gonna still go out there and I'm gonna still do me, and still expect to score every time I touch the ball. It's just kind of a running back's mindset.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we're gonna kind of seal the deal here with one final question. Just what are some personal goals you have heading into your rookie season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, first of all, make the team. Like nothing's guaranteed yet, so obviously make the roster, and then something really big for me is to kind of earn the respect of the people around me, from the players, the coaches, the fans. I don't really have like number goals or award goals, anything like that. I just want to be able to, know like if I'm on the field, whether it's special teams, whatever the role is, whether it's running back, like you, as well as the coaches, as well as my teammates, know that I'm gonna get the job done. So respect is really big for me, and just doing my job when my number's called, and then from there, everything will take care of itself.
Yeah, man, for sure. Those are some great goals to have. This is a guy with high character, and I think it's safe to say that the Packers running backs room is in good hands for the future with you at the helm. And all right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Today in Titletown Packers podcast. AJ, we can't thank you enough for coming on.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time. Go Pack, go.